Roman numerals. In this system, I means 1, V means 5, X means 10, L means 50, C means 100, D means 500, M means 1000. There are some rules we have to follow to write Hindu Arabic numerals to Roman numerals. Rule number 1. If any letter is repeated, we have to add. For example, I is repeated, so we can add 1 3 times. 1 plus 1 plus 1, it is 3. Suppose X is repeated twice, X means 10, so we have to add 10 and 10 to get 20. Rule number 2. We can repeat any letter maximum 3 times together. So together any Roman letter cannot be repeated more than 3 times. For example, we want to write 4. We cannot write I. Repeating more than 3 times is not allowed. So this is wrong way of writing. Suppose we want to write 50. So we cannot write X because repeating any Roman letter more than 3 times is not allowed. This is also a wrong way of writing. Rule number 3. If a smaller letter is written to the left of a greater letter, we need to subtract. For example, IV. Here I means 1, V means 5. Smaller letter is written to the left of greater letter. So we have to subtract. 5 minus 1 is 4. Suppose we have XC. X means 10, C means 100. The smaller one is written to the left of greater one. So we have to subtract. 100 minus 10 will be 90. Rule number 4. If a smaller letter is written to the right of a greater letter, we have to add. For example, VI. V means 5, I means 1. So the smaller letter is written to the right of greater letter. Now we need to add them. 5 plus 1, which gives 6. VI means 6. DX. D means 500, X means 10. So the smaller one is written to the right of greater one. We need to add 500 plus 10. So it is 510. Rule number 5. We can subtract I from only V and X. That means we cannot subtract I from any other letters. For example, we want to write 99. We cannot write IC just because 100 minus 1 is 99. This is wrong way of writing. Why? Because we cannot subtract I from C. We can subtract I from only V and X. Suppose we want to write 49. We cannot write IL just because of 50 minus 1 is 49. This is wrong way of writing. Why? Because I cannot be subtracted from L. I can be subtracted only from V and X. Rule number 6. We can subtract X from L and C only. For example, we want to write 990. We cannot write XM just because of 1000 minus 10 is 990. This is wrong way of writing. Why? Because X cannot be subtracted from M. X can be only subtracted from L and C only. Suppose we want to write 490. We cannot write XD just because of 500 minus 10 is 490. This is also wrong way of writing. Why? Because X cannot be subtracted from D. It can be only subtracted from L and C. Rule number 7. We can subtract C from only D and M. For example, we want to write 400. we can write CD. Why? Because 100 can be subtracted from 500, that is C can be subtracted from D. And we want to write 900, we can write CM. C can be subtracted from M. C cannot be subtracted from any other letter, only from D and M. Rule number 8. The letters V, L and D can never be repeated. Suppose we want to write 10. We cannot write VV just because of 5 plus 5 is 10. This is wrong way of writing. Why? Because V cannot be repeated. We want to write 150. We cannot write it L just because of 50 plus 50 plus 50 is 150. This is wrong way of writing. Why? Because L also cannot be repeated. Suppose we want to write 1000. We cannot write DD just because of 500 plus 500 is 1000. This is wrong way of writing. Why? Because D also cannot be repeated. Rule number 9. The letters V, L and D can never be subtracted. For example, we want to write 5. We cannot write Vx just because of 10 minus 5 is 5, because V cannot be subtracted from any other letter. This is wrong. Suppose we want to write 450. We cannot write LD just because of 500 minus 50 is 450, because L can never be subtracted from any other letter. We want to write 500. We cannot write DM just because of 1000 minus 500 is 500, because D can also not be subtracted from any other letter. This is also wrong way of writing. If a bar is placed over a group of letters, it will be multiplied by 1000. For example, we want to write 5023. We can write V and place a bar over it. It represents 5 into 1000, 5000. After this we can write 23. X, X, I. So this represents 5023. Suppose we want to write 12,366. So here how can we write 12? X, I. This represents 12. Place a bar over it. 12 into 1000, it will represent 12,000. Next 366, we can write it like C. 60 we can write LX. 6 we can write VI. So this represents 12,366. The greatest number that can be written in Roman numerals without using a bar is 3999. So let us discuss how to write this number in Roman numerals. 3999. We can write 3000 as MMM, and we can write 900 as CM. We can write 90 as XC, and we can write 9 as IX. This is the greatest number that can be written without using the bar. If you want to write any greater number than this, then we must use bar.